Let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered if your library's catalog is, actually accurate? Come on, we've all been there. You look up a book online, the catalog says it's on the shelf, you get all excited, you race over to the library, and poof, it's gone. It's so frustrating, right? But that little frustration, it actually points to a much bigger hidden challenge.
Yeah, so this is the library's unseen challenge. Because let's be real, managing thousands and thousands of physical books is way harder than you'd think. The traditional systems we have, they've been workhorses, for sure, but they rely a lot on manual data entry and tracking. And anytime humans are involved, well, mistakes are bound to happen.
And here's the thing. Those tiny little mistakes, they really start to add up. I mean, one simple typo, boom, you've got a duplicate record. A book gets put on the wrong shelf, it basically becomes a ghost in the system. For librarians, this means they have to turn into detectives, and that's super time-consuming. And for us, the library users, it just means we can't always trust what the catalog is telling us. It's a real problem.
Okay, so that brings us to the solution, a digital passport for books. This is exactly the problem that the ANAXIS project is designed to solve. It's a completely new vision for how to manage a library, one that's built to bring some serious high-tech security and total transparency right to the shelf.
Their mission statement really says it all. We turn physical books into secure, traceable digital assets. And this is crucial. It's not about getting rid of physical books, not at all. It's about giving each one a digital life, a secure one that perfectly mirrors its real-world journey from shelf to reader and back again. So the big question is, how do they actually pull this off? Well, the whole thing starts with this really cool concept called a digital twin. Now think about this. Instead of a book just being, a line of text in some old database, with ANAXIS, every single physical book gets its very own unique, unchangeable, and totally verifiable digital counterpart. It's like a digital birth certificate for the book. It's one of a kind.
So how do they create this digital twin? They use an NFT. And I know, when you hear NFT, you're probably thinking about digital art and crazy prices. But forget all that. In this system, the NFT is more like a digital passport. It's this unique digital token that's cryptographically tied to the book's physical barcode. It proves the library owns the book, and it tracks its entire history on a ledger that can never be changed. The result is pretty amazing. Duplicate records just can't happen anymore.
All right, so we get the idea. It sounds powerful, for sure. But is it actually practical? Can a library really use this? Let's take a look under the hood at the tech that makes this whole system work. So here's the tech stack. What's really great is that the whole thing is built on open-source technology. You've got a smart contract written in a language called Solidity that acts as the unchangeable rulebook for everything. That rulebook runs on the Polygon network, which is known for being secure and really low cost. The book's details? They're stored on something called IPFS, a decentralized network, which means the data can't be tampered with. And the best part? It's all controlled through a simple, easy-to-use web app for the librarians. Nothing too crazy. Okay, let's walk through it. Step 1, adding a new book. Say a brand new book arrives at the library. The process is actually super simple. The librarian just types the book's details into the app. From there, that info gets locked down securely on IPFS. And then, and this is the magic part, the smart contract automatically mints or creates that unique digital passport, the NFT, and links it forever to that book's barcode. Done.
So what about step 2, the day-to-day stuff like borrowing or returning a book? Well, believe it or not, it's even easier. All the librarian has to do is exactly what they do now. They scan the barcode with the app. That simple scan instantly calls the smart contract, and the book's status, whether it's checked out or back on the shelf, is updated on the blockchain, forever. It's simple, it's secure, and it's super fast.
Now, we all know a great idea on paper is one thing, but making it work in the real world, in a busy library with real people, that's a whole different ballgame. The good news is, the ANAXIS team has obviously thought a lot about the practical challenges of actually implementing this.
And they didn't just think about them, they built solutions. Look at this. The challenge of onboarding thousands of books at once? They built automated scripts to batch mint them. Worried about staff not wanting to learn a new, complex system? Nope, the interface is a super intuitive scan-and-click design. And what about a huge issue in many places? Unreliable internet? They even thought of that. The system can actually queue up transactions offline and then sync them whenever a connection is available. That's smart.
And this right here is probably the most important part for making it all work. The key is that this system is designed to enhance the workflow that librarians already have, not force them to throw it all out and start over. It works with them, not against them. By using tools they already know and trust, like a barcode scanner, it just makes their existing job easier. That's how you get people on board.
Okay, so we've covered the what and the how, but let's get to the real heart of it, the why. Who actually benefits from a smarter library like this? Well, the answer is pretty simple. Pretty much everyone.
Let's start with the librarians. For them, the benefits are huge and they're immediate. Think about all those endless hours spent doing manual inventory checks or trying to track down overdue books. That workload is just drastically cut down. And because there's a transparent, unchangeable ledger of every transaction, any disputes get resolved in seconds. This frees librarians up to focus on the stuff that really matters, helping us find the knowledge we need and building a community of readers.
Then there's us, the students and the community. For us, the biggest win is just one word: reliability. You can finally, actually trust the online catalog. That simple fairness and transparency, it does something really important. It builds a ton of trust in the public library system. And beyond that, it sets the stage for some really amazing future ideas, like being able to borrow books between different libraries without any hassle.
And if we zoom out even further, you've got the benefits for government and education. Suddenly, they have access to accurate, real-time data. For the first time, they can actually see which books are popular, which subjects are in demand, and then they can make much smarter decisions about where to spend public money for new books. This is a massive tool for modernizing public services, especially in a place like Bihar, and it really positions these institutions as leaders in using tech for good.
So all of this really leads us to think about the future of libraries. Because a system like ANAXIS, it's not just about making one single library run a little better. The real vision here is about building an entire network of connected, trusted knowledge across communities.
And here's the goal that really makes it all click. Imagine this, a future where a student in, say, Jahanabad can seamlessly borrow a book from a library all the way over in Patna. No friction, no complicated process, just connected knowledge. That's the dream. Knowledge without boundaries, all built on a foundation of verifiable trust.
Which kind of leaves us with one last big question to chew on. If this idea of a verifiable, transparent digital identity can completely transform something as simple and fundamental as a library book, what else could it do? Just think about it. What other public services, what other public assets could be made better, fairer, and more efficient if we gave each of them their own secure digital passport? Now that's a really interesting thought. Thanks for joining me.